Seems legit. Laser.
Hey Legitimates, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another laser video and I have made these really cute crystal shells. So they are fully made on the laser. This one was just plain wood, and then this one I decided to spray paint first and then laser. So it's exactly the same file, but it gives a very different feel. So if you want to see how I've done this, let's go. Okay, so I got this file from Laser Lee on Etsy, and I've just opened it up and then I've ungrouped everything because we don't need these words up here, but they just tell you what colors are for cutting and what are for engraving. So you can see down the bottom we've now got the red and the black. I'm going to tell it that it is black walnut plywood, even though it's just normal plywood. And then I'm going to click on the colors and I'm going to do normal plywood engraving, but the cut, I always do 2 passes. This just ensures that I never have issues. Yes, it takes longer, but I just always guarantee that it's going to cut all the way through without having to go and open it. Because as soon as you move it out of the laser and it's not cut right, it's essentially useless. So I've checked what size it is when I select all, and then I've cut a piece of plywood that is the correct size, and then I've popped it in the machine, and it is just now working out the distance it needs. And then I'm going to move it down into the corner, and I'm going to click off everything and then start marking to make sure that it fits within the parameters. So I have sped up that marking process just so that you could see that I did do it and it does fit inside the parameters. We are now starting off. This has been sped up quite a lot, otherwise we'll be here for ages watching it, but the whole thing only took 29 minutes to engrave and then cut out. So that's not a very long time for a piece like this, which I think looks awesome. So you can see it is in fact burning away the paint. I was a little concerned at the start. The first kind of 4 or 5 passes, I didn't really see anything. And I was like, oh, this has not worked. But no, it's all right now. I could possibly even lighten the engraving a little bit more so it's less brown and more kind of clear wood color. But that's something for another day. It is nearly through all of the engraving. It did do it nice and left to right, top to bottom, which I did enjoy. To do those things, if it never works for you, is you need to group all of the things together and turn it into its own vector. Otherwise, it'll jump all over the place and it tends to take longer. I learned that the hard way with my drink bottle. So you can see as it gets closer, we can really see the color difference with the burning, which I appreciate. And then it's going to cut around the edge and it will do everything twice. And again, I do this because every time I cut once, there's always like 1 or 2 little spots that never quite cut all the way through. And then when I try and snap it, it wrecks the design. So it's just better to do the extra one. So you can see it did cut first time there, but it doesn't always happen. And then we're nearly finished. It's just cutting out that bottom piece and it'll do the big one now. Around it goes. I really do like this design. I thought it was quite pretty. They do have a few different kind of crystal shelves in their Etsy shop, so you've got a few to pick from if this is something that you're interested in. Otherwise, there are plenty of Etsy suppliers that do fun stuff like this. 3D objects are pretty fun, but you do need glue to complete them and make sure that they stay where they're told. This particular time, I decided not to use wood glue. I instead decided to use a stronger, quicker adhesion. But that's it up close. I think it looks awesome. So I'm using like a shoe fix glue actually, but it's just something that said it dries within 30 minutes, which is definitely something I wanted. And then I am placing the glue between the slots so that when I push that down, it will in fact glue in place. And then you just want to, I'm using a paintbrush here to remove any excess glue and you're done.